How to check math homework. Most people who work hard on their homework want to make sure that they are doing it correctly. When you are working from home, however, you don't have your teacher to tell you whether or not your answers are correct. There are a number of ways to check math work you do outside of school. By checking your own work, having someone else check your work, or using online tools, you can make sure your solutions are correct before turning in your work. Method 1. Checking by yourself. 1. Estimate. If you have a general idea of what your answer should be, you can compare the estimate with your solution to verify that it makes sense. Estimating usually involves rounding to place values that make the number you are working with easy to calculate in your head. For example, you might need to calculate 824 plus 288, displaystyle 824 plus 288. Round each number to the nearest hundred. 824 rounds down to 800 and 288 rounds up to 300. Add together your estimated numbers. 800 plus 300 equals 100. Displaystyle 800 plus 300 is equal to 1100. You can estimate before you start the actual calculation or after. Once you complete the actual calculation, compare it with the estimate to check for reasonableness. For example, if you calculated 824 plus 288 equals 812, displaystyle 824 plus 288 is equal to 1812, you know your answer may not be correct because 1812 is much larger than the estimate of 1100. If you calculated 824 plus 288 equals 112, displaystyle 824 plus 288 is equal to 1112, you can assume that your answer is correct, because 1112 is close to the estimate 1100. 2. Use inverse operations. Inverse operations are operations that undo each other. You can think of them as opposites. Addition and subtraction are inverse operations. Multiplication and division are inverse operations, too. If you do a problem with any one of these operations, you can use its inverse operation to see whether your calculations make sense. For example, you might need to calculate 48 divided by 6, displaystyle 48, div 6. In division, when you multiply the quotient, the answer, and the divisor, the number you are dividing by, your product will be the dividend, the number being divided into. So, if you calculate 48 divided by 6 equals 8, displaystyle 48, div 6 is equal to 8, you know that your answer is correct, since 8 times 6 equals 48, displaystyle 8 times 6 is equal to 48. You might need to calculate 7 times 9, displaystyle 7 times 9. In multiplication, when you divide the product, the answer, by either factor, the quotient is the other factor. So, if you calculate 7 times 9 equals 56, displaystyle 7 times 9 is equal to 56, you know your answer is incorrect, because 56 divided by 9, displaystyle 56, div 9, does not equal 7. The answer is 63, because 63 divided by 9 equals 7, displaystyle 63, div 9 is equal to 7. 3. Plug solutions back into equations. In algebra, it is easy to check your solution by plugging the value you found for the variable back into the original equation. When working the equation, make sure you use the correct order of operations to solve. For example, if you are solving the equation 4x minus 3 equals 28, displaystyle 4x 3 equals 28, and you find that x equals 10, displaystyle x equals 10, plug in 10 for x, displaystyle x, in the original equation to see if that makes the equation true. So, you would calculate 4x minus 3 equals 28, displaystyle 4x 3 equals 28, 10 minus 3 equals 28, displaystyle 10 3 equals 28, 7 equals 28, displaystyle 7 equals 28, 28 equals 28. Displaystyle 28 is equal to 28, since this equation is true, you know that your solution x equals 10, displaystyle x equals 10, is correct. 4. Solve using a different strategy. Often there is more than one way to solve a problem. In school, your teacher often wants you to use a particular strategy. That doesn't mean, however, that you can't check your work using a different strategy. For example, if you are trying to find the area of a rectangle that is 4 units long and 5 units wide using the formula area equals length times width, display style, text, area, equals, text, length, times, text, width, you can check your work by drawing an array. If you are doing multiplication, you can check your work by doing repeated addition. Method 2. Asking for help. 1. Ask your parents. The easiest way to check your math homework is to ask your parents to look over it when you are finished. If your parents don't remember how to do the type of problems you are working on, you should try to teach them yourself. There is no better way to learn how to do something than to try to teach it to someone else. If they still have trouble, they can look online to refresh their memory. Some good sites for going over how to do math problems quickly are Math is Fun and Virtual Nerd. 2. Compare answers with friends. You can do this after school or before school if you have time. You can also call your friend in the evening and go over your homework together. If you both found the same answer, you know that your work is likely correct. If you found different answers, you know that at least one of you is wrong, and you can try to find the correct answer together. When you compare your answer with a friend, make sure you are not just changing your answers without learning where you made your mistake. If your friend found the correct answer, have him or her show you how to solve the problem. 3. Talk to your teacher. Sometimes teachers give you free time in class. If they do, use this time to begin your homework. This way you can ask them if you are doing it correctly. If you do your work at home but don't feel confident about it, talk to your teacher as soon as possible the next day. They can quickly check your work, and you might have time to correct your answers before turning it in. Likely, you will get credit for trying your best. Method 3. Using resources. 1. Use a calculator. It's helpful to have a good calculator at home. If you are in middle school or high school, you should have a scientific calculator. After you complete your work with pencil and paper, you can complete your work on a calculator and compare your answer. Since the calculator will always be right, if your answer doesn't match, you know you need to work the problem again. Work through your problems first, and only use the calculator to check your answers. You need to show your work so that your teacher knows you understand how to solve the problems. If you don't have a calculator, you can find a number of online calculators by simply searching for them on Google. 2. Use online tools. Besides calculators, there are a number of online tools that can check your math work for you. Make sure you try to complete the problems on your own before using these tools. For algebra, you can use an equation calculator, like Symbolab. For geometry, you can simply type what you are looking for into Google, and a calculator will pop up. For example, if you are finding the area of a triangle, type area of a triangle into Google. Then insert your known values into the calculator, such as base and height, and Google will supply the answer. There are a number of converters online. Math is Fun has a unit converter that can help you convert from one unit of measurement to another, such as inches to centimeters. ConvertMe has conversion calculators for most measurements, including speed, temperature, and capacity. 3. Use the back of your textbook. Textbooks often have an index in the back that reveals the answers to problems. These are usually organized by unit, topic, and page number. Often these indexes will only have the answers to odd-numbered problems. As when using a calculator or online tools, try doing the problems on your own first, then check your answers.